Hello everyone, welcome inside the Update Studio. Tommy Marquez here with the Masters Qualifier edition of Inside the Leaderboard. The workouts have been announced, and so today we're going to take a look at some of the historical data, starting with what your open finish says about your chances of making the games. Now in 3 of the 4 categories, a top finish for the women in either the top 20, top 10, or top 5 gave you a better percentage chance of making the games than did your male counterparts. Now take a look at the bottom line, and the winner of the Open for both men and women had a 90% chance of making the games. These numbers are skewed a little bit because athletes like Bill Grumler and Lisa Mickelson in 2014 both won their divisions and chose not to pursue the competition further. Now, we also took a look at what the average finish in the Open was for all of the athletes that qualified for the games. It's important to note, if the top 20 in the Masters qualifier is identical to the top 20 in the Open, the average finish would be 10.5. So that means the lower the number, it means the harder it was for an athlete outside of the top 20 in the Open to crack the top 20 in the Masters qualifier and make it to the games. The women's 40 to 44 division was the single hardest division in the Masters qualifier to get through and make it to the games. Another way of looking at this is taking the games qualifiers and seeing what percentage of athletes finished inside the top 10, the top 20, the top 30, and so on. So if you take a look at the top line there, 36% of the games athletes for the men finished inside the top 10 in the Open. 42% of the games athletes for the women finished inside the top 10 for the Open, and so on, working down towards the top 50. By the time we get to the top 50, 98% of the athletes finished in that area for the Open. So if you're outside the top 50, doesn't look so good. You only have a 2% chance of making it to the games. But all is not lost. There's a glimmer of hope. Everyone loves a comeback story, and here are some of the biggest comebacks in Masters qualifier history. Now for the men, Carl Dial and Dan Brannigan both finished the Open at 69th place and managed to work their way into the top 20 and get an invite to Carson. For the women, Shelly Eddington finished 60th place in the Open and went on to get back inside the top 20 and also make it back to the game. So if you guys are outside the top 50, the numbers aren't necessarily in your favor, but there is still a chance, so hit those workouts hard. That does it for this edition of Inside the Leaderboard. For all you Masters athletes out there, good luck in these workouts, and you guys can catch all the results at games.crossfit.com.